Hi, this is Tim Rogers with Dodgers 2080. Got Alex and Trinidad with me, and we're going to talk about a lot of what's happened over the last 2 weeks. The last time we recorded was right before the winter meetings, and the winter meetings were a cool thing. I was able to attend some of it, just wandering the halls, meeting people, talking to folks. It's a good time. It's just kind of a weird thing. I did have a video where I show the excitement of the winter meetings, and so take a look at that on our channel. So what we're going to talk about, since the winter meetings is about transactions, we're going to talk about the latest transactions that have happened since the winter meetings. So I'm going to share, if I could find it, chat, share, there it is, share screen. And I'm going to pull up the transactions. That's desktop 2. I want to do this right. There we go. All right. Can you guys see it?
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
cool. All right. So starting from the bottom. So Shelby Miller happened before the winter meetings. Very exciting signing, but we never know. He got 1.5 million to hopefully be another surprise reliever. Lucas Williams, we'll not talk about him. So the big one, the most important one of the offseason, in my opinion, Clayton Kershaw, future Hall of Famer, Dodger legend, number 22, will never be worn by anyone else in Dodger blue. Guys, what are your thoughts about that? Let's start with Trinidad, since you're on top.
Oh man, well, obviously excited because he's going to be back for a 16th season. So for sure, I mean, he's obviously one of the greatest pitchers of all time in our generation, obviously. So to have him back, obviously, is obviously exciting. Just hopefully, we're not going to get the amount of innings he used to pitch, and obviously, he's not going to go that many starts as well. Because I know for the Dodgers, for a fact, we're going to try to save him for the postseason. So I mean, but I'm very excited to have him back. I mean, he's only 3 wins away from 200, so definitely excited to see that. Hopefully this year.
Yeah, exactly. Alex, what are your thoughts on the GOAT?
Likewise, I mean, thankfully he's still a lifetime Dodger at this point. I think maybe this year might be last. I mean, I don't know. You never know. It seems kind of this past postseason was kind of why he came back. It was unfulfilled, but
Yeah.
just enjoy him. Like Trinidad said, probably what 130, 140 innings, quality innings, but we have enough depth to kind of fill in the other starts. But happy to have him back, of course, and just hopefully he keeps going, but you just never know. I mean, he's kind of 16th season already. He has pretty much nothing left to prove, to be honest.
And it's amazing. I'm hoping he goes. I really want 3,000 strikeouts from that guy. I'm one of those. I like those big numbers, and 200 wins, 3,000 strikeouts with the Dodgers would be fantastic. Yeah, I'm concerned obviously about him. It sounds like if the Dodgers would have won the World Series, he was done. But that's a good way to go out. So let's if 2023 the Dodgers win the World Series and Clayton Kershaw decides to retire, okay, cool. Let's have a parade and let's party hard.
Right, 100%.
The next one is Jason Heyward. Kind of out of the blue for a lot of us. He used to be a really good player. Signed an 8-year, $160 million contract with the Cubs. He did so well with them, they released him a year early just so the Dodgers can get him for minimum wage, and the Cubs are kindly paying the rest of his contract. Thank you, Chicago Cubs, but we'll see. Thoughts on former defensive excellence, not too bad of a hitter, but not great either. Amazing athlete, Jason Heyward. We'll start with Alex this time.
I think they're just taking a flyer on him, to be honest. I mean, it's a minor league contract. Um, like you said, the Cubs are paying the majority of it. Maybe there's a tweak or two that they can make where they can just tap into maybe more contact, more power. I'm not exactly sure. I know before his defense was pretty top notch. I'm not sure if that's still there, but I think it's maybe see how it works out. Maybe put some numbers in the minors if he sticks around, and I'm not sure. I think it's a flyer though. We'll see out of anything.
Yeah, Trinidad.
I think he's just gonna be a bench role player, obviously, because I just think he probably just picked him up. Probably they'll obviously help him out and fix this whatever he has wrong with him right now at the moment. I mean, he did have downfall years last year, last year, and then the year before. He hasn't had a great season, I believe, since 2019 or 18, I believe. So, I mean, a lot of it has been injuries as well, too. So, I mean, probably Dodgers just picked them up, obviously, for, like you said, minimum wage, obviously.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll take anything if another team's going to pay whatever's left off his contract.
Yeah, I just pulled up his Baseball Savant page. There's not even enough information, it looks like, to get the rest of it. But he's still his max velocity off the bat, 73 percentile. Sprint speed a little less than 50, but still there. And arm strength is still there. I still remember him throwing. I can't remember who he threw out anymore in the playoffs against the Dodgers in 2016. It's like, don't hit it to Heyward. But he's been bad. I mean, purely bad. And from all indications, though, he's a great human. He would be great for the clubhouse. And let's be honest, if the Dodgers can't fix him, who can?
That's true.
So then a few minor leaguers here. James Jones, I think he's actually a pitcher. He's not a center fielder. He's 34 years old. I took a look at him. Jake Pilarski, he is a looks like he's a free agent. I didn't see any. He had no MILB statistics. I'm going to try this. Catcher Patrick Mazeka, Mazeka. Okay, I'm going to believe you. He actually has major league experience. He played backup catcher for the Mets in 21 and 22 for a little bit. It looks to me like he is the 2023 version of Tony Walters. So if Austin Barnes or Will Smith gets hurt or has another baby coming, we have this guy to come up. He'll come up and then get DFA'd, probably, and then they'll find another one. But he's a lefty swinger. You guys know anything about him? You seen him play? I don't remember him.
I mean, I only remember the name sounded familiar, but I haven't seen him play though. I'm assuming I heard him probably just at a random Fox game when it was like a day on a Saturday.
Yeah, something like that.
Probably that name sounded so familiar.
Next one is of course interesting. Old friend, World Series hero, our 2020 world champion. Should have been pitching against Juan Soto in 2019. Adam Kolarek. Thoughts? Let's go with Trinidad.
I mean, I was pretty shocked about this one. I mean, probably they just picked him up just as an extra left-handed reliever, probably. But I know that he's going to probably be in AAA next season because we do have still Alex Vesia, and I believe we have somebody else, Caleb Ferguson.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot who else we have in the bullpen.
Gonzalez, I believe.
Victor, yep. And then Justin Brule.
Yeah, so, I mean, it doesn't look like...
Right? Well,
yeah, so I don't think we just probably picked them up for a cheap price and then just in case for extra arms. So it doesn't look like we needed another pitch. I mean, we always need the pitchers, actually.
Yeah, and it is a minor. It's a minor league contract, and from my understanding, it includes an invite to spring training. Alex, you got any thoughts on Adam Kolarek?
I would assume at this point he's probably just minor league depth.
Yeah.
I think his stuff, he didn't have like high end velocity, so I mean, it's mostly location and I wouldn't say junk, but he pitches off
a good word.
It's a little different. It's just he has a funky delivery, so but I think it's just minor league depth and just see if it sticks or if someone goes down, maybe has a phenomenal season, but.
Yeah. I look at him as well, first of all, when he was successful with the Dodgers, it was before the 3-batter minimum. Remember, he'd be that loogie, the left-handed one-out guy.
Forgot
so people, if you hear the term loogie, Loogy, it's not necessarily related to your it's related. It means left-handed one-out guy, just loogie. And that's what he was. He was really good at it. Now, there is this certain left-handed hitter now in San Diego, so you never know. Maybe they bring him up for a Padres series, and Now, the next one is really interesting, and we're gonna give it a shot on the pronunciation. So, JP Fireisen. We say however you
There
feel
you
like.
go.
We had a good
That was
agreement.
solid.
I can't remember that. And he was traded for left-hander Jeff Belge, which I can we can talk. You can feel free to talk about him if you know anything about him. I know a little bit. So JP.
Exactly.
Hey, it's another JP. We remember old JP Howell, a lefty.
Yeah.
Who threw about, who didn't throw very hard, but was somehow effective, falling all over the place.
Right.
So this JP gave up no runs last year in like 24 innings with the Rays. So the reason that the Rays let him go is he is injured, and the Rays, of course, have a million relievers. For them, it's just plug and play with the same guys. And so he had shoulder surgery, and so he may come back, he may not. I mean, Julio came back from shoulder surgery, but not all of them do.
Right.
Let's go. Let's see, Alex, you want to take first shot at JP, and you can try say your pronunciation for him, please.
Oh, no, I was going JP. Fireisen, I think. Just JP. I think it's another maybe high upside. Not too much risk. He doesn't have a huge contract at the moment either, so more depth. Maybe similar to I forgot the guy from the Yankees who just got signed. Yeah, maybe not as high end, maybe, but same idea. Plus he's controllable for I think another 3 years on top of that.
Yeah,
which is pretty phenomenal. What I did see on the stats are he obviously took a step forward last year, but the key issue is going to be the walk per 9 for him. Or the control. That's the biggest difference. The year before he was phenomenal, but even if you see that, he walked, let me see, 33 and 56, and then last year he walked 5 and 24. Obviously, I think that's the difference. The K rate's the same. He doesn't get hit much either way. 36 and 50.
Holy smokes.
Pretty good. 7 and 24 is even better, but I think the key thing was going to be the walk. But it's a good high upside.
Yeah.
Long term too, like I said, 4 seasons of control.
Yeah.
I like it. The prospect, he's kind of similar boat, good stuff. High walk rate, hard to hit, but he just finished single A, I believe. Jeff.
Yes. High A, yes.
Lefty, so that's always kind of a premium, but that's I don't think that's gonna come to bite the Dodgers back like the Alves trades, but he could develop into, if he could control, but that's always the thing, control with the lefties.
Yeah. Trinidad, do you have any thoughts?
So pronouncing it is Fireisen.
Fireisen. 3 times, everybody.
Right.
No,
put in the comments.
So from what I've read and what I've seen is that he did pitch 24 innings, and in those 24 innings he was scoreless. He did have like soft contact on even if they did make contact off of that off his fastball or any of his pitches. But like I said, we pretty much got him for team control. There's no point in knowing him. That's going to be another candidate for Dr. Pryor to fix pretty much after he comes back for injury. So we didn't lose much at the end of the day. The Dodgers will like go get some pitchers and pretty much fix them up. And then next thing you know, they tend to be really successful when they come over here to LA.
Yeah. He's one of those guys where, you see he's DFA'd on, as you're looking through Twitter and you go, oh, this might be interesting. And, fans are going, yeah. So some fans are going, hey, get him. They got him. Belge is, he's somebody that, the Rays can work with, I'm sure. They're both the Dodgers and the Rays are very good at developing pitching, getting the command and all that stuff is important.
And they did, right? In 2022, they did. He essentially, we just have to maintain what they did.
No, I'm talking about Belge.
Oh, gotcha. I'm sorry.
Belge is the one of those guys that he throws hard. He's got a kind of an interesting story. Do a Google on him. I wrote about him way back in 2020. He was kind enough to answer some of my questions. So I'm going to try it again, Trinidad. Fireisen.
There you go.
Fireisen. All right, JP, our man. Yeah, I'm. How can he not be fired up about a guy that not too fired up? He's not going to pitch for us much in 2023, but he could, and it is a good option. Alex brought up the team control. I mean,
I mean,
those are things that matter.
you got to have some at least some faith with these pitchers or any player that comes from the Rays, because like you said, they do develop great players out of there. And anytime you could get a player out of that organization or from the Dodgers or any team that develops these prospects or any talent they have, it's really good. It's going to be a great pickup for both teams.
I mean, one of the last guy they got from the Rays, or one of the last guys, this guy named Evan Phillips. I heard he's pretty good.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Right.
Not too
geez.
bad.
The next guy, and so Fire Eisen is on the 40 man, and so the other guy, so Kershaw obviously is, Heyward, Jones, all these other guys are
The
not.
Fire Rising's on the IL, right? 60-day.
Not yet. Can't be yet.
Oh, okay.
Not till spring
Oh, really?
training starts. So
Gotcha.
that'll be him and Trinan and Bueller go right on there, and they all of a sudden have
Right.
3 more spots.
Gotcha.
So the next guy, Yoni Hernandez. They got him from the A's for cash. 5'9", 140 pounds. I mean,
Wow.
yeah. And
That's
he
the
never
league
even
minimum?
he never even played in the major leagues for the A's. He was, they got him. He's one of those guys that keeps bouncing. Look at this. I mean, before the Diamondbacks, he was Rangers. So, Rangers, Diamondbacks, and then to the A's, and now to the Dodgers. It was just cash, but he is on the 40-man roster. I don't have, there's not much to say here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have anything to say about him, but
From what I've heard, they're pretty much going to use him as like a Hanser Alberto kind of a thing. Pretty much just be off the bench. But I mean, I never even really heard about him. I thought it was going to be that other guy from the Diamondbacks. I thought for a minute, I thought it was that, what's his name? Manny Tomas or whatever his name was.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, that's what I thought they got at first, but I was like, never mind, that's not him.
Yeah, there's not much here. I mean, I think he's just insurance. I don't see him I mean, some of the forecasts have him on the roster for the 26 man. I don't see that. If it is, I think we do have some problems. Unless he just shines all of a sudden. You never know. Again, who would have thought Max Muncy or Chris Taylor or Justin Turner would ever be players that that were worth talking about. Okay, the last one, people know about him, Thor, Noah Syndergaard. He's definitely a player that has an excellent history, but he has been injured. So let's go with Trinidad. Why don't you give us your thoughts first on Noah Syndergaard?
Well, I actually was a little excited knowing the fact that he did turn down multiple year deals to come sign with the Dodgers. So, I mean, the fact that the Dodgers got him on a 1-year deal pretty much either seems like he knows that if he comes out here, he's going to get pretty much the help he needs. And then again, he's coming off of Tommy John surgery. So, the Dodgers are going to try to help him out as much as they can to make him, be successful this year. It's not like he wasn't this past season either. He was getting a lot of ground balls and, so, I mean, his velocity is down compared to it was before. But, I mean, at the end of the day, he's going to – I mean, it's a great pickup overall. I mean, can't say not much about that for sure.
Yeah. Alex?
I think it's a smart pickup. If you were to say if you want Tyler Anderson back at what I think it was 13 or Noah, I mean, obviously you want Tyler, but it's not too much of a trade-off. Like Trinidad said, he's a year out of Tommy John, so
yeah,
maybe he thinks that he can. Maybe the rehab can be better. Maybe it was not enough that he got from the Angels. And that's great. I mean, he's probably going to just want to reestablish his value. So I think he's going to be motivated on a 1-year contract. I heard his pitches are all plus. They grade out as above 100, all of them. And I think the Dodgers have made they're excellent at using the right pitch utilization or maximizing your strengths and maybe ditching something else that's not as effective. That's what they did with Tyler Anderson and most Yancy Almonte and Yency Almonte. So I think that I think it's a good pickup. I think that come August or September, he's gonna have pretty good numbers. Ideally, he's still mid 90s. I mean, so he's not like a
right?
he's not soft tossing up there. So maybe he can add a couple extra miles per hour, but I think it's a solid pickup for a fourth, fifth starter. Not bad.
Yeah, I mean, let's see if it shows up on here where it doesn't show up with the background. Oh, there he is. You see him
The
right
doctor,
briefly right there. There he is right there. That's
doctor's
why
he's ready.
yeah, that's why you sign him. And that's why he signed. I mean, it's the prior lab. I'm looking at some of these things, the spin. So Connor McGinnis, who former Rancho Cucamonga Quakes pitching coach, now Dodgers assistant pitching coach, is one of those spin doctors, man. He's a spin master. So I think these are going to improve.
Right.
And yeah, and I agree, the coming off Tommy John, I do see the velocity getting a little bit better.
There's room for improvement. There could be potentially.
And he is 6'6". That's why this extension is an important thing. It actually is it's adding velocity.
Exactly.
So there's,
So
a guy like
looks like 98.
Yeah, and a guy like Brewstar Gratterall who strides about 2 feet, it doesn't look as fast.
Right.
And if
so slow 102.
Yeah, and it's the weirdest thing. Easy slow 102.
Yeah.
But a lot of these numbers are a little concerning. But the walk rate is, I hate walks. I think I think things like the whiff percent will go up.
Right.
I think and the barrel percent too. I mean, that's what the Dodgers do. They make it happen. I agree. You tweak the pitches and you remove things, and so the game plan changes. The Dodgers are obviously in the top 3% or 3 of Major League Baseball with planning these games and knowing how to pitch to these guys.
And I think it's definitely encouraging to see that his hard hit percentage and average is pretty high up there. He doesn't walk. With Tommy John, I've heard that feel is probably the last thing you get back too as well. So he was just a year removed. Second year, maybe like the stuff ticks up just naturally.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely another low risk, high upside kind of sign or pickup.
Yeah. So that covers us on looking at the Major League transactions. Okay.